Well, that just did something, whatever you just did.
Well, I think we're finally. Sorry about that, folks. We had some internet issues here at Culver's, but it looks like we are back up and going. Let me know if you're back out there. I sorry for the technical difficulties that we just had there. But it looks like we're back up and running here. Cyrus Bill with Seminole Bob. We are at Culver's of Navarre on a rainy night here in Navarre, Bob.
Rainy night in Culver.
But sorry about those.
I'm sure the
Where,
weather
where
had
were we
something to
at?
do with it. Yeah.
Were we in Niceville? That's right. Pine Forest at
Hmm.
Niceville. Niceville, we're all taking Niceville now. Fort Walton Beach at, yeah. Thanks, Joe, for letting us know we're back on. Like I said, we're with the weather going on in the area tonight. We're having a little bit of internet issues. We just finished up with the Pine Forest and Niceville game. We're going to move over to Fort Walton Beach at West Florida, your alma mater. West Florida, they both get their first win last week. West Florida a little bit more impressive than Fort Walton Beach, but a win's a win. You're going with West Florida, Bob.
I am.
Let's see what direction Joe is going here. Joe is good. We're all three going with West Florida. So far we all are going with West Florida in this one. Tate at Pensacola. Tate playing too well. Pensacola playing better, but it won't be enough as all three of us take Tate in that one. Booker T. Washington at Milton. The Pickwizards are going with Booker T. Washington on the road. You and I going with the Panthers at home. This should be
That
an entertaining
it
game.
should. Then that's the only reason I chose Milton is just their hosting.
Okay, let's move over to Mosley hosting Rickards. This should be a really good game.
Yeah.
Mosley, both teams are 2-0 on the season. Mosley at home. You and I are taking Mosley, and Joe is going to go with Mosley as well. Hawthorne, the number one team in the rule. They they won a they lost a tough one last week. They're 1-1 on the season. They're at Florida High. Florida High struggling a little bit. This should be a pretty good ball game.
Yep. Absolutely.
Um, Joe and I went with Florida High, and
I went with
actually
Florida.
Bob went with Florida. Bob and I went with Florida High, and Joe went with Hawthorne. Wakulla, surprise loss to Taylor County last week. They're going to Childs, who had a very easy game last week as well. Uh, you're going with Wakulla to rebound. I'm going with the home team in Childs, and Joe is going with Childs as well. Godby at Gaston County. Gaston County is probably playing the best out of the Big Bend region right now as they go on a long road trip to Tennessee last week and pull off a big win. Godby 2-0 on the season. So something's got to give in this game. I was leaning towards Gadsden County, but I ended up going with Godby, as you did as well. And Joe going with Gadsden County in this one.
Hmm.
He always seemed to slide just a little bit to the right of us sometimes. Next, we got Gainesville coming to Tallahassee, the Purple Hurricanes coming to Leon. Leon struggling a little bit here early on in the season.
Right.
All of us are going with Gainesville in that one.
Purple Hurricane.
The Purple Hurricanes.
Very good. Yeah.
Arnold travels to Bozeman, so that's a short trip down. What is it? I don't know what road goes from.
Yonder.
Yeah, yonder down 98.
Make a left at the convenience store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Tom Thumb. Well, they're no longer Tom
Yeah.
Thumbs. They're
Yeah.
Cumberland, right?
Right.
So take a left there. You'll get there. Bozeman hosting Arnold. Arnold puts up 47 last week. Not enough for us to take them this week. We're going with Bozeman at home. And Joe is going with Bozeman as well. Walton putting up some offense. Their defense can't stop anybody
Yeah.
right now. And they're
Toward
going
the
to
end of the
Holmes
season,
County.
that's the way it was also.
And Holmes County 2-0. Walton 0-2. Joe's going with Holmes County, and you and I are going with Walton to break into the win column.
What's the name of their quarterback? Bettenhausen?
Yeah, Wells Bentonhausen.
And he has committed to.
That I do not know.
I'm not sure. Okay.
But he's one heck of a quarterback. I think he got his start at Destin, didn't he? His freshman year. I think he was at Destin, and he transferred to Walton.
I thought he was at South Walton.
There you go. I knew it was South Walton. You're on top of it. That's why he's the best color analyst in the area.
I try.
Yeah. Anyways, you and I are going with Walton, and Joe is going with Holmes County. Maclay at Mariana. Maclay, the longest of road trips out of anybody in the area. In their week 1 to Dublin, Ireland. They came back, but they're facing a very potent offensive attack of Mariana. And you and I are going with Mariana, and so is Joe. Madison County at Sewanee. Madison County, I can't remember the last time they had back-to-back losses, and I don't think it's going to happen at Sewanee.
That's a pretty good game in that area. That'd be a game to go to. And it's at Sewanee?
Yep, in Lakes. Is it Lake City or near Lake City? Not too. It's west of Lake City. But,
near the Swanee
and that
River.
is the alma mater of our favorite, one of our favorite camera people, Tammy Peanut Norton.
Yeah.
She's a graduate of Sewanee. So we're all
Coach
three
Jay
going to.
Walls coached there.
His very first high school gig was at Sewanee. Next, we're going to move over to Jay, 2-0 at Lighthouse, 2-1. I think Jay's going to handle Lighthouse, and so do you.
Should be a pretty good game.
We're all three going with Jay. Northview at Freeport. Both teams 1-1 on the season. Freeport had a great first week, so did Northview. And so Northview going on the road to Freeport. You and I are taking Northview, and so is Joe. Next, we have Central at Baker. Baker's is going to put some lumps on Central this week.
Well, Coach Brunson's back after 1 year at Opp, and he's got those boys playing again, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they got a good sophomore running back over there again, Wilkes.
Sewanee's in Live Oak. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. He's not only our pick wizard, he is also our Mr. Geography man.
He always gets to see most of the time the game of the week. Right there, I remember the chain gang.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're all going to go with Baker in that one. North Bay Haven at Bay. So it's the Battle of the Bays.
Yep.
Not Green Bay and Tampa. It's North Bay Haven at Bay. I'm going to go with the home team, Bay. You're going to go with North Bay Haven. And Joe's going to go with Bay as well. Rutherford at Chipley. Chipley playing really strong right now. We're all going to go with Chipley. FAMU at Franklin County in the Battle of Futility.
Well, Franklin County, Bill. Franklin County.
East Point.
They're 2-0.
Yep. Are they 2-0? I didn't see their score from last week.
They could be 3-0.
And they more likely will play in FAMU. They're East Point. Can you remember what the school name was before they became Franklin County? That's our trivia question for tonight. See if you can answer it without looking it up, Joe. What was this high school name of Franklin County before it was Franklin County? Navarre played them once. Navarre played them once.
Cross
You
City.
got the first letter right.
Cross Point, Cross Creek, Cross City.
Nope. Carabel.
Who?
Carabel.
That's right.
They were Carabel High before they were Franklin County. It's down on the in the you go past Mexico Beach and keep going down to East Point. It's about a 3-hour drive, maybe 3.5 hours from here. And Coach Adams was telling me that they took the school buses down there, and he said that was one of the longest trips he's ever been on a school bus, was down to East Point to play Carabel.
Make a left at the Tom Thumb and right near
past many Tom Thumbs on the way to Carabel.
Right near Mabel's house.
And there actually were houses and stuff in Mexico Beach as you went through. Hurricane took out a lot of them, but they're starting to rebuild over there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Franklin County, we're all taking Franklin County in that one. Port St. Joe heading to Liberty County. Coach Jared Tranquil, who transferred over from Vernon a couple of years ago, having a little trouble this year out at Liberty County. Port St. Joe going in there, and we're all going. Of course, you're going to take Port St. Joe because your first name's Joe. So we're all going Port St. Joe. Taylor County 2-0 on the season. They're heading to. Joe's going with the upset here in Vernon, and we're going with Weewaw at home. The Gators at home. I'm surprised he picked against the Gators team here. Then Jefferson County 1-1 at Rocky Bayou 1-1. Rocky Bayou lost to Lighthouse in the first week 28-0. Lighthouse last week 23-20. That's going to be a long road trip for Jefferson County over here to Niceville to take on Rocky Bayou. And all of us are going with Jefferson County at home. Well, there's our high school picks. Once again, we're having some internet issues here to the weather going through. So I apologize for the issues. We have no problems when we're outside. We had no problems.
What's that?
See if we're back up and running here again. I think we're back up and running. Just bear with us, folks. The weather is kind of wreaking havoc on us a little bit tonight. We just finished up with our high school picks. I think we're back up and streaming here now. Thank you all for being patient with us. We're going to go over the NFL guys have not started to play. They start this weekend. Arizona Cardinals. Michael Carter is on the practice squad now for the Arizona Cardinals. They take on Buffalo this week. A noon kickoff. One that has finished his season in the Indoor Football League is Vegas Nighthawks wide receiver Quentin Randolph, his third year in the IFL. They finished 11-6, made it to the playoffs. Quentin finished the season with 56 receptions for 815 yards, 15 touchdowns, 15 carries for 45 yards, and 3 more touchdowns. And we continue to have streaming issues here at Culver's in Navarre. Thank you for bearing with us, and we're probably going to end up. We're going to get through these former Navarre Raiders players and probably call it a night, Bob.
That's fine.
And Jacksonville Jaguars defensive lineman Jordan Jefferson, first year with the Jaguars. They play at Miami on Sunday, a noon kickoff. Temple wide receiver Dante Wright had 3 receptions, 36 yards, 2 carries, 8 yards, and a 51-3 loss to Oklahoma. What a way to get your season started. And next game will be this Saturday at 3:30 kickoff as they venture to take on the Naval Academy.
How about that?
And Eastern Kentucky's University running back Josh Carter, 19 carries, 75. We're going to talk about this tomorrow night. We're going to go ahead and cut the show short tonight as we're having some internet issues here tonight. So we'll be back on next Tuesday night here at Culver's, and we'll try and figure out what's going on with our internet here at Culver's. And but
join us tomorrow night.
From Buffalo Wild Wings, it's Navarre Raiders. It's the coaches' show from Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Sorry for all the internet issues that we're having tonight, and we'll get back with you tomorrow night. For Seminole Bob, this has been Irish Bill. It's Irish Bill's Twist on Sports on this rain delayed, shortened day program, whatever you want to call it. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow night from Buffalo Wild Wings. Any last quick words, Bob?
No, just Florida State needs to figure out their quarterback situation. That was really all my rant was going to be. They're out of the playoff.
And Joe's right. I think Quentin does deserve a chance at the NFL.
Quentin Randolph
or
does
the
deserve
UFL.
a shot at the
Or CFL.
CFL or the USFL.
The young man can flat out.
Seminoles need to figure it out. We're out of the national title hunt. Give the youngsters a shot.
Most definitely. For Seminole Bob and Irish Bill, this is Irish Bill's Twist on Sports from Culver's in Navarre. Have a good but safe and dry